Welcome to the People Leaders Podcast, the audio resource for managers and business leaders creating high-performing teams. Join leadership and team development experts Jen and Michelle Turkelson each week as they explore both subjects from every angle. Through practical tips, valuable insights, and compelling interviews with leadership experts around the world, you'll learn how to bring out the best in your staff and how to give your best as a leader.
Hi Jan, hi everyone. Today what we're going to do is we are going to give you some really good strategies to help you with your mental, emotional and physical well-being. And these are strategies that we use in our Leadership Essentials program. And when people start to practice them, it is amazing how their well-being, their resilience improves, and how they just feel happier and more satisfied. So might just give you a quick sort of overview of Leadership Essentials. There are 6 modules. A module is released every 2 weeks. We have coaching every second week, group coaching, which is really great. We had a great session yesterday with a group of people where you get to ask questions. If you want to be coached on an issue, you can. And it is an opportunity to clarify for you and help you move forward. And we almost sort of form accountability pods for one another. And yeah, so get on board. So why don't we jump right in and share with everybody our strategies, Jan?
Sure. So let's go through physical, mental and emotional well-being. And the first one we wanted to take you through was, how do you become physically energized? And when we look at our physicality, it really is our capacity in how we expend and recover energy at the physical level. So it really is defined by the quantity of energy we have. So I want to share a couple of strategies. And the first one is sleep. Sleep is such an important way to re-energize not only the body but the brain, which is part of the body anyway, because between the hours of 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. it's the peak rejuvenation cycle for the body. It processes impurities, and it also increases the immune function. It helps regulate blood sugar, and when you can get enough sleep, you are energized throughout the day. It is so important. And a couple of things that you can do is just make sure the temperature in your room is between 17 and 18 degrees. And I used to go, oh no, I don't believe, but it really makes a difference. Yeah. We have tested these out, and that's why we've cherry picked the ones that we over the years know that work. So sleep is really important. And the next thing about the sleep is get some daylight, especially get some sun, into your retina at the early morning. And the reason why that's important is because it actually helps normalize your circadian cycle. So get some sunlight in the early morning, which will help you sleep at night. I know it seems counterintuitive, but it actually does work. So Fantastic. Sleep, get some sleep.
Oh, totally agree with that one. The next one is hydration. Like every system in our body needs water to survive. And when we look around and compare to 10 years ago, people are doing this really well. Like on every Zoom meeting or webinar we're on, everybody's got their big jug of water or their glass of water and lemon. And so I think people are doing really, really well in this area. However, there are just so many benefits. If you're not, I think we can slacken off a little bit. In terms of the quantity that we're putting in. And I was just, doing a little bit of research the other day. And the recommendation for women is 11 cups of water a day. Wouldn't that be interesting? And just by going through the research, because you tend to, when you focus on something, then you start to sort of bring it into your life. And that's exactly what I've been doing. Oh, am I having 11 cups a day? And for men, it's about 16 cups a day. So definitely get onto the hydration. It's going to keep your joints, lubricated, help you to prevent infections. It'll boost your immunity, all those good things. So yeah, definitely get onto that.
And one of the things I wanted to share is that what I've been doing lately, and I think that really for the last couple of months, this has really made a difference to my cravings, because normally I would want to have a second cup of coffee around 10 or 11 in the morning. And what we've been doing is we've been making this thing called a prime tea, and it's based on Ayurvedic way of bringing food into, your life based on the seasons. So prime tea is made up of a teaspoon of coriander, cumin and fennel seeds, and you just boil it up in water. We strain it and we put it in a flask, and we just sip that throughout the day. And that's exactly what I'm sipping now. And what I'm finding is my cravings have gone down, gut health is improved, and I'm regular. And I was regular before, but there is a certain shift in my physicality, and I liken it to that. So yeah, I just wanted to share a little bit about that.
Yeah, you've mentioned that before, Jen.
I know.
So you know what? I'm going to get it. Well, to me, I am definitely going to get on that. So it's seeds. So if I went
has to be
where
seeds.
would I go? Have to
oh,
be
you could
seeds.
get them in Woolworths, any Asian shop, anywhere, but they have to be seeds. So
seeds.
CCF, coriander, cumin, and fennel, and just put it in a like boiling water, like 6 cups or whatever, or 8 cups, and then just sip it throughout the day.
And a teaspoon.
A teaspoon.
Right. Okay. Got it. All right. Thank you. So
the next one is oxygen. And every person needs to breathe. And the reason why oxygen is so important is because it definitely brings life force into the body. This is kind of like the conduit between the outside world and our inner world in a way. And if you have a look at the way in which a baby breathes, it actually, expands its whole body, the diaphragm. So we want to massage all our internal organs by breathing through and with our diaphragm. The other point that I want to make is it's really important to be able to breathe through the nose, because what happens is nitric oxide is then cultivated when we breathe through the nose, and nitric oxide improves lung ability to absorb oxygen and get it through not only our muscles but our organs. It's antifungal, antibacterial, antiviral. It is the bee's knees, nitric oxide. And one of the things that I also want to say about breathing is notice whether or not you breathe through your mouth, especially when you sleep, because when you can breathe through your nose throughout the night, you'll find that you don't wake up with dark circles under your eyes. You're not going to be dehydrated, and you're not going to have, halitosis or anything like that. If you can start to encourage yourself to breathe through your nose as much as possible, and we can all do that. The other thing that I wanted to mention about breathing is the rate of which we can breathe. They liken it, maybe 6 to 8 breaths for every minute. And notice whether or not you're breathing shallow or are you breathing fully. So 6 to 8 breaths a minute is usually considered to be a good pace. And then in our Leadership Essentials, we actually take you through some exercises in breathing. We do the BOLT test, which is a really good test to assess your ability to breathe and the volume of your breath. So, we've got some really juicy activities that we do in Leadership Essentials. So that's physical.
Okay, so let's get on to mental. And mental energy is really about the focus of your energy. And if I just read a quote, and this is from a book, The Power of Full Engagement by Jim Loehr and Tony Schwartz. And they say that nothing so interferes with performance and engagement as the inability to concentrate on the task at hand. And in order to perform at our best, we must be able to sustain concentration and then to move flexibly between broad and narrow, as well as internal and external focus. And so if we want to increase our mental energy or be psychologically energized, it is all about the focus of our energy. Where is our focus going? And one of the best ways to energize yourself mentally is the power of self-reflection. And some people call this introspection. And this isn't about disengaging from the world. What it is, it's about sort of going internally and asking yourself a couple of questions. And these are reflective questions on how am I feeling? How am I behaving? And when you can do that, it actually allows you to see like what's working and perhaps what's not working. And then you can make a decision, okay, I'd like to shift in this way and that way. And there are a couple of questions that perhaps you could use in order to, be more self-reflective. And they are things like, so what would I do differently? And it could be, what would I do differently in this situation that I'm pondering? Or what would I do differently today? Another one is, where would I like to get to in general? Where would I like to get to in terms of my relationships, in terms of my health and well-being? Where would I like to get to? And the other one is, who do I want to be? And this is a pivotal question that we use throughout the Leadership Essentials program. You know, who do I need to be right now as I'm leading a team that is going through change and uncertainty, as an example? And in relation to well-being, who do I need to be right now in order to be well and healthy and resilient? And then the other one could be, what did I learn? What did I learn today about myself or about others? And so that's self-reflection.
Another strategy to enhance our focus around our, like mental experience is the quality of our self-talk. And I'm going to share a quote by Tony Robbins, and he says that words we attach to an experience actually become our experience. And most of us use the same kind of words to describe how we are. And I was having a conversation with a couple of girlfriends this morning, and one was just saying, we tend to use the same words like amazing, awesome, and interesting. And I went, my God, I use those all the time. Oh. And this morning, I actually wanted to start a process where I decide how I want to be today. So for example, my word today was buoyant. So, when people say, how are you? And yeah, pretty good, fantastic, amazing, flat, whatever it is, my word today was buoyant. And so the opportunity is to describe myself in a way that kind of expands a way of being, as opposed to just relying on the same kind of words or definitions. So Michelle, what word do you want to be today to describe?
Well, actually, how I am feeling is jazzed.
Nice.
Yeah,
okay.
You know what I mean? We had a session on our leadership group last night, and it was fantastic, and I'm still feeling jazzed.
Yeah. So the quality of your self-talk is absolutely essential to how you are going to focus your mental energy. So notice, but start to become aware. Most of us have, 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. Most of them are pretty negative. And there are 3 ways really that you can become aware of your self-talk. First of all, that's it, become aware. Like, notice the types of words that you're saying to yourself, and you'll know whether or not they're negative or disempowering by how you feel, because there will be an emotion attached to that actual thought or word. The second one is to change the word. So change the word to a better feeling thought word. So for example, instead of feeling, flat, I'm feeling hopeful, I'm feeling energized. Try and extend our repertoire of words. And then the third thing that you can do is change your state, change your physiology. We often say, how your body and your mind work together, one will follow the other. So it's really challenging to feel depressed when you're standing up straight, you're looking up and out, and you're putting a smile on your face. Your physiology will absolutely create a different state in your body. So just notice those things.
Oh, that's great, Jan. And then the next one, in terms of the focus of your energy and how to get that mental focus and energy, is practicing silence. Yeah. And if nothing else, what it does is that it gives your brain a rest. Yeah. And when you can do that, that is going to allow you to get energy to put it in other areas. But if we're always on, we're on our phones, we're hooked in, tapped into technology all the time and talking and engaging, then we're, using up a lot of that energy. And so purposeful silence is, a real opportunity for you to, get some more mental energy. And there's a book called The Power of Silence by Robert Cardinal Sarah, Sarah. And one of the quotes is, "Without the capacity for silence, we're incapable of hearing, loving, understanding the people around us." And probably worthwhile building opportunities throughout the day to sit in silence or be in silence. So that's another strategy that you might like to practice. That's an easy one. For people with introversion, maybe a little bit easier, but yeah, it's a great one. Now, let's move on to the third area, which is, emotional well-being and emotional energy. And this is about the quality of your energy. Yeah. And one of the best things that you can do in order, to build your emotional well-being is look after yourself. It's called self-care. And this isn't about being selfish, because unless you can fill your cup up first, then what have you got to give others is something that we talk about all the time. And so self-care is going to look very different to different people, but is there something that you can do to take care of your, emotional well-being today? Can you learn to say yes to yourself and to your needs? Can you honour and respect your emotions and be aware of how you're feeling at any point in time throughout the day, and have some fun? Is there an opportunity to build some fun or levity? And instead of watching that drama, can you watch a comedy, a comedy show, or learn to tell a joke, or at dinner, tell everyone, all right, at dinner time tonight, I want to hear one joke from, whatever that is for you to build some fun. And the next one is creativity. How can you build some creativity into your life? For some people, it's cooking. Some people, it's gardening. It could be painting. There are all types of creativity. So have a go at practicing some self-care to build your emotional well-being.
Great. So we've actually given you, 7 key strategies for physical, mental, and emotional well-being. So number 1 was sleep. Number 2 was oxygen. Number 3 was getting enough hydration. Number 4 was self-reflection. So as we go through these, just notice what is coming up for you, and can you bring a little bit more attention to one area. 5 was self-talk. Be aware of your self-talk. 6 was practice silence. And 7 was self-care. And that was about having fun and creativity and easing and soothing yourself. And these are some of the strategies that we share in our Leadership Essentials program. We're kicking it off on the 25th of September, 2020. We've run a couple of these programs now, and the feedback that we've been getting is very, satisfying.
So positive. And the other thing is, we've got people who are coming in teams. So we've got, small, organizations who are bringing their business unit along. They might have 5 to 10 to 15 people who are part of the group. So you don't have to do it alone. Bring a colleague or a partner or even a friend who works in another organization. What a great opportunity to connect over, a leadership sort of forum and platform.
Yeah, and if you are interested, let us know at info@peopleleaders.com.au, and we can give you all the details, and we would love to have you on board.
Yeah.
Okay, ciao.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode of the People Leaders Podcast. For show notes and other resources, please visit us at peopleleaderspodcast.com. While you're there, you can subscribe for future episodes so you can continue your own leadership journey. And please be sure to share this and other episodes with your friends and colleagues. The People Leaders Podcast is brought to you by the Experts on Air Podcast Network.